I'm Charlotte McGinnis, and welcome to Spin TV. There's an old saying that you can never return home, but DeVonte Holloman has returned back to South Point, and this time as head football coach. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Charlotte, North Carolina, but I moved here beginning of my junior year, going into senior year, and lived here for about 6 or 7 months. But my dad still lives here. He's been here since I moved, so about 10 years.
So your family's here too.
Mm-hmm.
Since you're a coach, what is your personal experience with athletics, mostly like football?
Of course, playing football, but I also played basketball growing up, baseball a little bit, ran a little bit of track. But I've been involved in sports since I can remember, about 4 or 5 years old.
So you did almost all of them. This is about your faith, basically. How big of a role does faith play into your life with coaching or just life?
I'm a Christian, so I believe in God. I don't push my faith on anybody else. What I try to do is push the players to be good people, good young men, whatever they believe in. Of course, I support that, but for the most part, I'm just here to try to build men on and off the field.
Okay. So as a coach, people probably influence you along the way. Who has and how?
Probably one of my best coaches that I've ever had was Tom Knotts, who's now at Dutch Fork High School, still winning championships. But he's just a proven winner wherever he goes, and he's big on discipline, weight room, things like that that kind of build the player's body and build their minds at the same time so that they kind of win the game before they even step on the field.
So with that, what made you want to coach besides your influences?
When I was done playing, I played for the Cowboys, ended up hurting my neck. I just wanted to be around the game a little bit more, so I went to college football first back at the University of South Carolina and coached for about a year and a half. And just the time constraints, being away from my family. My daughter was young. I wanted to step away from college football, but I still wanted to be around kids, so I went to the high school level and just kind of fell in love with that level as far as, the relationships that you make with kids, establishing some things early on in life that they can take with them in the beginning. So that's why I coach.
Yeah. So you coached at Beaufort last year. So how was coming to South Point? Was there difficulty leaving Beaufort?
Not really. Of course, leaving the kids that I work with and the people that I work with behind, but I've already made a lot of good connections here, and everybody's been nice. I'm still amazed by how many people are still working in the school that was here when I attended school here. Miss Perry in the front office, Miss Konecki came in when I came in, and different teachers that have come up to me that I'm surprised are still here. So the transition has been smooth, and everybody's been very helpful, as well as my kids in my classes. I got really good classes and really good kids, so that's been a major help too.
So with that, what is the difference between you've been here as a student? Is there a huge difference as a staff member now?
Just the kids. The faces change. Kids are a little different now than we were. A little bit more outspoken. With social media and things like that. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that per se. We just got to find a way to kind of tame it all within the school building. That's partly our job as adults and teachers. So not a major difference. Kids will be kids, and I say kids, but teenagers will be teenagers, and it's our job to kind of hone them in and let them see the bigger picture.
Okay. So as the head coach, what made you want to come back to South Point?
It's just opportunity I couldn't pass up. To get back closer to family. One of my major reasons for coming back was my sister. She actually committed suicide in October. She graduated from here, just dealing with depression and things like that. So it was a rough time for me and my family. So the opportunity to come back home and, be home with my family, I couldn't pass up. So put my name in the hat, really didn't know what to expect, and blessed to be sitting here today.
So family is a big deal to you?
Oh, most definitely.
So what role does not only your immediate family, your wife and kids, but your whole family play on to you?
They're just really supportive of everything that I do. They're looking forward to football season, coming to some games, possibly tailgating, something that I want to bring in as a head coach. But my family's all about it, and they're big supporters in everything that I do to kind of lift me up when I'm having bad days and things like that.
Going off of that, so you said your family was supportive ever since you've been alive, but throughout college football, and then when you got hurt, how did your family help you through that?
Just mentally, I went through a period of time where I didn't like football just because, I was heartbroken by it. But, my family kind of reminded me who I was and where I came from, and just the things that we preach as people. Don't let one thing get you down. So family was really important for me to lean on as far as expressing how I feel, how I felt, and them just kind of building me up to get my confidence back and things like that.
So you've played in the NFL, so how has that helped you coaching-wise?
Just experience-wise, the NFL from terminology standpoint or football standpoint, everything's high pace, high intensity, and then some of the connections that I made, former teammates, former coaches that I still keep in contact with, kind of helped me day to day as a coach too. So, the connections, of course, the football knowledge, and learning how they practice, and trying to bring that tempo from the NFL all the way down to high school, is something that I still hold on to.
With the coaching aspect of it, we had a request from Brody. Do you have a story about Steve Spurrier that's like super memorable or something?
I just know he's a real players coach, and there was one moment where he kind of stood up for players as far as NCAA wise, and he spoke out about why he thought players should get paid in college football just because of the time that's demanded, and things like that. But he's a character. I could probably give you about a million stories, but that's one that kind of really made me fall in love with Coach Spurrier when he spoke up for players, and that's something that he always did when I was there.
So with him and, like you said, Tom Knox and people like that, how has Coach Heron or coaches you've had at South Point helped you come into this, knowing what you want?
Coach Heron, when I was here, he was always organized. Everything was, bam, 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 lined up, and you knew what to expect. Coach Carroll, who was actually the head coach when I was here, he was kind of like Spurrier in the sense of taking care of his players. He realized that he didn't go out there and make any plays, so he wanted his players to be happy on and off the field, but he still had that expectation for them. So big thing I learned from him was just take care of your players, and they'll take care of you in the end.
So with that, both of us coaches got state championships. How do you want to continue that legacy for South Point?
I think that's the expectation that we all have. Not only coaches but players as well. And when you don't get that, it kind of sets a bad precedent. So I don't really want to sit here and claim, hey, we're gonna win a state championship. I like to go week by week. And at the end of it, if you win 15 games, then you're in the state championship. So that's kind of how I like to look at it. But we all know what the expectation is here, and we got to do the things every day to kind of work at that.
Okay. What is the most rewarding thing coming out of coaching?
When you got players that graduated, come back and see you, they tell you what they're doing with their lives. Maybe not college football, but they got a steady job. If they have a family and things like that, seeing them become fathers and being a contributing member to society is the most rewarding thing. I love the banquet nights when you get to kind of look at the season in review. Give out awards and remember, just all the things that you went through a season. So those are some of the memorable things that I kind of hold on to as a coach.
With that, what is the hardest thing for coaching?
Letting go of seniors. You put in 4 years, or you put in a lot of time with a group of kids, and to have to see them walk away, it's kind of, it's a sad thing, but it's a good thing at the same time. So that's what I would say.
Thank you for joining us. I am Charlotte McGinnis, and this has been Spin TV.